Good morning, I'm meteorologist Bo Dotson. We do have some thunderstorms in the forecast today, and a few of those storms could be on the heavy side with some gusty winds and perhaps hail, frequent lightning, and heavy downpours as well. Let's take a look at the satellite view this morning. We have a stationary front that's draped across northern Missouri into central Illinois. This front will be the focus of thunderstorms later today. The front will sag southward into our region over the next 12 hours. This is an infrared satellite view, and you can see the red cloud tops. Those are thunderstorms, cumulonimbus clouds. The white and dark red are very high, cold cloud tops in excess of 50,000 feet. Those are some big thunderstorms this morning over northwest Missouri. Several reports of severe weather already this morning with these storms. You can see that they're moving east-southeastward, and that's a concern because they should approach our region later this afternoon if they remain on that track. Let me show you radar this morning. Radar, of course, shows you rain and precipitation. The bright yellow, red, even some purple in there. Those are very heavy storms. There are some severe thunderstorm warnings in effect for parts of northwest Missouri. And you can see the storms were initially moving towards the east, but then watch towards the end of the loop, they start moving southeast. Again, that's a concern because they're moving southeast. That means they're going to approach our region early this afternoon, first over the St. Louis area, northwest portions of southeast Missouri, and then sweep east-southeast into the mid to late afternoon hours, and they may not reach Kentucky and Tennessee until late this afternoon, early evening. Sometimes these storms can speed up as the cold pull develops. We'll have to monitor that, so I'm not going to give you an exact time of arrival. Let's monitor radar this afternoon, and let's see if a severe thunderstorm watch is issued later today, and we'll monitor the track of the storms on radar and figure out the timing as we move forward. Take a look here at this map, and we do have a risk for some severe storms today. The orange area perhaps has a greater risk than the red area, but anyone in the red and orange area has at least some risk for a few severe thunderstorms today. Now, a severe thunderstorm is a storm that produces 1-inch hail or larger, a tornado, of course, and or 58 mile per hour wind gust or higher. The tornado risk today is fairly low. It's not zero. Anytime you have severe thunderstorms, you can have a tornado or two, but the overall risk for tornadoes is fairly low, and the overall risk for actual severe weather at your house is also fairly low. Now, you do stand a good chance today of having thunderstorms later this afternoon into tonight, and some of those storms could produce heavy rain. We do have quite a bit of moisture for this system to work with. As a matter of fact, dew points are on the rise. Typically, once you get to 60 to 65, that's some juicy air, and once you get 65 to 70, that's muggy air. We will have dew points in the low to middle 60s today, and potentially even some middle to upper 60s for dew points. That's a lot of moisture for the atmosphere to work with, and any thunderstorms that form could produce some heavy rain. We look at precipitative water values. This is how meteorologists measure moisture from the surface all the way up into the clouds, and we do see precipitative water values today in excess of 1.4 inches. That's a lot of juice for thunderstorms to work with. If thunderstorms train over the same area, training means repeatedly moving over the same area, then some places could pick up more than 2 inches of rain from this system. Anywhere that storms train, a lot of moisture to work with, you could have some very heavy downpours. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that. Most areas will pick up between 1/4 and 3/4 of an inch of rain, and then some of you will pick up more than that. We take a look at CAPE values. You hear me talk about CAPE quite a bit. CAPE is basically energy for thunderstorms to work with in the atmosphere, and we're going to see high CAPE values today. 2,000-3,000 are anticipated this afternoon as the atmosphere heats up. Quite a bit of energy for storms to work with. The one thing missing today is wind shear. Thankfully, the winds aloft are fairly weak, and that may keep the severe weather threat to a minimum. You look out there in Oklahoma and Kansas, and you see CAPE values over 4,000 today. A lot of wind shear out there. Quite a bit of severe weather anticipated, a severe weather event for Kansas and Oklahoma later today. We'll be keeping an eye on that system for Wednesday afternoon. We may have some additional heavy storms in our region. We'll just have to wait and see if what happens Wednesday morning with clouds and precipitation, and then can we recharge Wednesday afternoon. Take a look at this image. This is the Futurecast satellite view for later today. and we're going to watch an area of thunderstorms. Here we go. This is the beginning. Area of thunderstorms over Missouri, forecast to move east-southeast. Again, this is satellite view. The red colors are high thunderstorm tops. And we watch it around, this here is around 7 p.m. And you see the storms in southern Illinois, southeast Missouri, southern Indiana, moving into Kentucky. This is the NAM model, and it weakens the storms considerably this evening. We'll have to see if that happens. Some other guidance does not necessarily agree with that. I do think storms will be on the weakening trend as they move into Kentucky and Tennessee, but still quite a bit of energy, so we're going to have to keep an eye on this to make sure to monitor just how intense the storms are as they push through our area. We'll take a look at Futurecast radar. We'll let this run its course here for a second and then start back over. Okay, there we go. This is the storms this morning, and this is what radar might look like. This is an opinion from one model guidance. Models are guidance, not gospel, meaning it won't be exact. As we move through this afternoon, you see the storms in Illinois, southeast Missouri pushing southward. This is around 7 p.m., and you can see the storms moving into Kentucky and Tennessee. Now, again, there's some debate on just how fast the storms move in, but right now it appears the St. Louis area and northwest parts of southeast Missouri, somewhere between 12 and 2 p.m. we should see the storms moving in, and then the rest of Illinois, southeast Missouri as we move to 2 p.m. to 5 p.m., and then the storms will sag southward in Kentucky and Tennessee after 3 or 4 p.m. And again, some of the storms could produce heavy rain, frequent lightning, gusty winds, and even some hail. If you haven't subscribed to the weather text messaging, I encourage you to do that. $3 a month, and that money goes and pays for all of the weather data that you see. It's quite expensive to pay for all this model data and my time. You can see there's 3 different main text messages you can receive. Just check mark them once you go into the site. You just go to weathertalk.com or bodotsonweather.com. And I did add a 4th text option. This is for people who really like weather. And you can pick that one and you'll receive more frequent updates. Every time I update Facebook or the blog, I'll send you a text. But don't let that replace the other 3. You'll also need to check those as well. Just that 4th one is in addition to the other 3. Okay, well, I hope you have a great day. We'll keep an eye on the weather. I'll be updating the Bo Dotson weather on Facebook. You can find me on Twitter under Bo Dotson. You can find me on the YouTube under Bo Dotson as well, Beaudodson. All right, have a nice day.